中文怪物全球中文挑战赛。
中文怪物 was an absolute internet sensation from day one.
YouTuber 酷豪砸了500万，一口气邀请100位在台外国人一起参与实境节目《中文怪物》。
Starts with over 5 million views on episode 1 and a total of 15 million views plus for the entire series. It cannot be denied. It is the biggest series Taiwan YouTube has ever seen.
100位中文特别出色的外国人。
And despite an abysmal performance on my behalf, I was honored to have been invited by good friend Ku. But despite its huge popularity, it did face a lot of criticism.
中文怪物爆红遭踢猪哥氛围，观众怒踢，笑点过时又不尊重。
In today's video, I'm going to be reacting not only to the series and my participation in it, but the fallout, the backlash, the scandal, and the gossip. So let's go back to the very beginning of Zhongwen Guayu's conception stage, and it was on the Allan and Proti podcast where it was first mentioned.
My next project is gonna cost me so much money. I'm so worried about it. Probably gonna go above like 4 or 5 million.
Yes, a 5 million Taiwan dollar budget for a YouTube project was absolutely unheard of. My fee that Ku paid me of $100,000 was the start. I didn't get any fee. But if you want a real behind-the-scenes look of how things were on the day of shooting, Prozzy has an excellent behind-the-scenes video where not only does he talk to some of the characters that we already knew, but also some new friends that became huge characters later on in the series.
Harrison, the Yanjing, I'm in love.
But enough about my crush on Harrison and his gorgeous deep blue swimming pool-like eyes that you could literally But talking of behind the scenes, all of the entrances that you see of people coming up in the elevator have happened at least 2 or 3 hours after arriving. So we've already had chance to mingle and get to know people, get to judge each other's Chinese levels.
How good is your Chinese?
Probably not good enough to win, but you know, it's okay.
And at this stage, I was already starting to see that the level of Chinese in these contestants was absolutely exemplary. Yes, of course, there were some people like me, Prozzy, Meiguo Susu,
大家好，我是美国叔叔。
that have a more basic level of Chinese.
我要是会上位，对不起。
But full of confidence, I made my way up in the elevator. Oh my goodness. Made a huge claim that I was going to win the money.
Give me that money! Give me the money!
Now, the first scandal of the Zhongwen Guayu series is about to take place when I overheard somebody claiming that I may or may not have been drunk
You okay? You drunk, right?
and still not awake from the night before.
我跟你讲，他昨天喝高粱还没醒。
Let me put it on record right now that I was 100%, absolutely, unequivocally hammered the night before filming took place, and I didn't barely sleep. I think I had 2 hours sleep. So the first scandal of Zhongwen Guayu goes to the drunken British uncle, but it certainly wasn't the last, and we'll come to many more later. But generally speaking, everybody was nice, polite, friendly, and super excited for filming to begin, myself included, and my excitement got the better of me when I started cheering for my own country. To which this young guy, Chen and Yang, took offense and started scolding me as a stereotypical foreigner. Absolutely no hard feelings between me and this Generation Z prodigy, but a little bit of national pride is nothing to be ashamed of. But eventually it was time to start round 1, and we had no idea of how our Chinese was going to be tested.
机关声调考验。
I was But before we get to those all-important tones, I've come down to the park to introduce not only the game to Taiwanese people, 对的吗？ but also to introduce today's video sponsor, Emma Mattresses. Emma's sleep system is German engineered, and you can really feel the quality. And their mattresses are the perfect combination of support with comfort. Not too firm, not too soft. The mattress's multi-layer foam technology supports your body in all the right places, so you don't wake up with a stiff neck or a stiff back, as I used to do before I got my Emma mattress. And since taking part in the Zhongwen Guayu series and being pretty embarrassed by my performance as you're going to see later in this video, I've been doing a little bit extra Chinese study each morning, which is helped by the fact I get a good night's sleep and I wake up rested, not wrecked. And what I really like about Emma as a company is that they offer you a 100-night free trial. That's 3 months to try out the mattress and any other products that you buy before deciding whether or not you keep it. And with free delivery, free returns, and a 10-year warranty, you literally cannot lose. Not to mention the Black Friday discounts give you as much as 50% off the price of everything on their store. Plus, if you use my code Allan when checking out, you'll get an extra 10% off the total cost of your order. Links to Emma's websites are in the description down below, where you can find all of their products, including their memory foam pillows, which I'm using as a gift today for anybody that can answer the Zhongwen Guayu Round 1 Tones questions correctly. And helping me to do so and hand out the gifts to the contestants, I've invited my beautiful able assistant, Luna. Luna, hi.
Hi.
Should we start asking people if they want to take part?
Yes, of course.
你为什么会来台湾 ？3, 4, 5。卡比宝宝吃水饺。
好，
三声，三声，三声，三声。
卡比宝宝吃水饺，三声，三声，三声，三声，一声，三声，三声。
对的吗？
不对，
你不能参加这种
宝宝，宝宝。
再一次。
三声，三声，三声，轻声，轻声，三声，三。
吃是一
吃一声吗？一声，三声，三声。
OK， 裁判，你对的呢？
快对啦。
OK。
卡比宝宝吃水饺，科阿卡 Harby also three 宝5吃碗水 3 饺 3。
Wow! Give me 5. And you win your Emma pillow.
Thank you.
Wow. 最后一个机会。
后方商品需要加购吗？比较划算。4声，一声，一声，3声，一声，4声，一声，4声，一声，3声，4声，2声，4声。
It's right?
No.
妈，
第三妈是轻
轻声。
飞机即将降落至桃园国际机场。一声一声，二声一声，四声四声四声，二声二声二声，四声一声，三声。
Yeah! Winner!
等你当爸妈就会懂了。3声，3声，一声，4声妈，一声4声4声，3声轻声。
Yeah! Nice! 恭喜恭喜！你现在可以拍照。
就想跟你拍照。
你不要吗？
我。
你不在意？
没有。
你不在意我是谁？
我在意。
Oh no. 3, 4, 2, 5, 4, 2, 2, 1。
叮叮叮叮叮 ！We have a winner。你们两个都是台中人吗？
不是，我from苗栗。
哦，苗栗国，你有你的护照吗？
苗栗国。
Okay, so we actually gave away all the pillows. Not everybody was as perfect as expected. And yes, it just goes to show that not everybody's Chinese is perfect. So don't judge people unfairly, right?
Yes.
Back to the video. My tones in Chinese are not just terrible, they are non-existent. I can read Chinese characters, I can type Chinese characters, but I am completely misunderstood and flummoxed when it comes to tones in Chinese.
What's dumplings? 水饺. No. 水饺. 水饺. How do you sing in Chinese? That's what I don't understand.
And as such, I just completely ignore them, speak as quickly as possible when speaking Chinese, and hope that somebody gets what I'm talking about.
我要一份水饺. She's like, 你干嘛来这里问我要水饺?
So for the first few rounds of this question, I just guessed the tones to the characters that I didn't know or recognize, and of course failed the first few questions spectacularly.
你应该不会这么早就被淘汰吧？
But I had some hope.
下一题。
I saw a huge list of numbers, and if any of you have watched me on Koo's podcast or Instagram reels, you'll know that he often likes to test me on numbers.
I say 4, it's really angry. 4. I can do that one, but I can't do 4.
Allan truly believes that if your hand goes up,
then the voice goes up.
I'm trying to show that I know what tone it is.
So the tones of the numbers I 100% know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I may not be saying them with the right tone, but I know what tones they are. And the first part of this sentence, 我的同一边好是. I knew most of the characters, I just didn't know 同 and 边 from 同一边好, so I just took a guess. I was almost certainly out for the count.
坐在底下的失败者们，快滚吧！你们这些没有利用价值的家伙，不值得留在。
And I was pretty gutted.
Yeah, I feel a little bit like I let you down. A little bit.
Now, before we get to the end of round one, there was a little minor scandal that popped up online in some people's comment sections on Instagram or Threads, and that was when Mei Li was accused of cheating. And when I first watched it, it did look a little bit dodgy, like he was asking for help from his neighbor. And he showed his extreme frustration with her. And he showed his passion and anger when he somewhat frustratedly got this question wrong without the help of his neighbor. To which some people criticized him online for unreasonable behavior. And in some ways I do agree with them, but I also agree with his passion and competitive nature. And when I saw this guy's interview, you could really see he cares so much about this language.
对我来说，中文是我生活里面最大的成就，然后现在有点不敢讲话。
I felt he was vindicated, and just showing a little bit of passion, a little bit of culture, a little bit of enthusiasm to win was absolutely nothing wrong.
我还是以为我中文还可以吧，结果今天就超失望。
And of course, who am I to criticize a guy whose Chinese is a million times better than mine and has much more dedication to learning the language? Another moment from episode 1 that got under my skin slightly was when these two people were discussing 美国叔叔。
这边也有完全不会讲的。
完全不会讲的。
对啊，那边有一个美国叔叔。
And his appearance on the show.
美国叔叔不会讲中文。
那怎么敢？
我不知道。
How can he dare to show up at a show like this? Well, when a guy has served in his country's military, been to war, been shot at, and faced some unspeakable things, I think attending a Chinese competition on YouTube is absolutely no problem for him. And when he got the invite from Ku, I'm sure he was probably a little bit reluctant to attend, but I also know that Mei Guo Susu is not the kind of guy to back down from a challenge.
I think is legitimately the most difficult low crawl I've ever done in my life.
So yes, that was my Zhongwen Guayu experience, which lasted 1 day of filming, but the other people that went much further in the competition had 4 days in total of filming, and there was a lot of people criticizing the contestants online blindly without fully understanding the story. So I'm going to give you my opinion on some of the scandals and some of the hot topics that made the news in Taiwan. The first of which I could possibly be considered a part of the scandal, and that was the use of Mei Nu when talking to some of the girls that were in the competition. Wow!
老师好。
荷兰美女好。But in my opinion, over the past 17 years, I have heard this term used for women of absolutely all different walks of life.
在这，你在这边，在美女的后面，美女的后面，美女你好，美女你好。
In Taiwan, using the term 美女 to address a woman is a polite, light-hearted way to talk about a girl. Yes, it talks about being beautiful, but actually it's nothing about their appearance, and it's just a term that we use to talk to a woman. The same way that we talk to a guy as 帅哥. The idea that this show had any element of bro culture or toxic masculinity is absolutely ridiculous, and that was the last thing on anyone's mind when filming. I can guarantee you everybody competing in this show had one priority, and that was to show that their Chinese was as good as possible.
他 YouTube 都不会，
真的不会。
对，可是今天是中文比赛。
哦，是吗？好，我回家了。
But the scandals didn't stop there, and the Japanese female contestants had their own little issue when Sayuri accused her teammates of bullying her or teaming up against her.
你们看到我们开心还是很失望呢？超开心吗？很假哦。
And of course, when someone claims they're being bullied, They should be the ones to define whether or not they're being bullied or not, as they are the victim.
所以今天我超怕，因为我在那个日本人群算是后辈的。
But I do know that there was a very competitive nature.
英国的男生幸好是我的旁边，他感觉认真来比赛的。
People really wanted to win, really wanted to show their Chinese ability as best as they could.
可以跟日本人一起，可以吗？因为
为什么？
And it was later revealed that Mayu claimed that she apologized to Sayuri off camera that wasn't included in the show. And I have to say, I have no inside information regarding this situation, but what I do know from being there is that this situation was very unnatural. Lots of cameras focused on you, having conversations with the people, and also a lot of people being very competitive.
现在我过第一关，我真的很想第一名。
Wanting to win, wanting to prove that their Chinese ability is as good as it should be after their time in Taiwan.
大家好，我是米蕾，我是韩国人，然后来台湾5年了。
And there was a high level of pressure when filming that maybe caused people to either act differently or act more aggressive than they usually would.
他们都是 loser。
Another contestant who faced huge criticism for her behavior was Anna from Poland.
大家好，我是安娜，来自波兰，来台湾18年。
Who was criticized for selfishly choosing herself to advance to the next level.
是你要决定。
那我晋级。
他是队长，但他说他要先上去，所以我觉得有点疑问，为什么是队长没有照顾我们
She also made a rather sarcastic comment about Diborem being from a diplomacy department and using it to his advantage.
队长是外交系的，一定走最官方的。
She faced so much criticism online for just playing a game. At the end of the day, this was a game, a YouTube video for people's entertainment. Yes, there was a cash prize at the end of it.
有现金吗
？30万，
太夸张！
But ultimately, it's a game show that's there for entertainment. And I think the criticism she faced was over the top, unnecessary, and was totally unwarranted. And talking of all these controversies and scandals and gossip that was going on, I think it was around about episode 3 when Koo published a statement online, and he was just asking for people to take it easy, remember that this is a game show, give the contestants a little bit of a break. Not all of the contestants are YouTubers, Instagrammers, or social media celebrities. Some of them are just people working normal jobs in Taiwan with a high level of Chinese and wanted to take part in an interesting, fun, entertaining game show. And talking of Koo, there is no better person to help me wrap up the video than the man himself.
Me.
And generally, do you think it was a success?
I think, yeah, overall it was way more than we expected. I expected to lose money. We actually made the money back, so I'm really happy about it. It's also thanks to all the donations from people in the comments. Thank you so much for that.
Anything you would have done differently in the first series that you regret?
I think we had a little bit too much of listening. I think we would have probably made people see more of the contestants' personality. A lot of the interesting conversation took place on the first floor when we weren't filming. So I think we would do that differently.
Any plans for a second series?
Obviously, we thought about it, and like, if we're gonna do it, it's gonna be like at least in a couple of years. When you expected the least, bam, second season.
Well, anyway, thanks to Emma for sponsoring this video.
Thank you, Emma. Thank you, Emma, for giving money to Allan. Keep sponsoring his videos. If anyone wants to give money to Allan, give it to him now in the comments, because he needs it. He's gonna have big news coming up from
huge news.
Yeah,
huge news.
And this news, it requires a lot of money as well.
Yeah.
So even though you don't know what it is yet, just trust us and like send the bag.
Thanks to you guys for watching this video, but of course thanks to Koo for putting his neck on the line and risking it all for an amazing series to put Taiwan on the map.
Hopefully.
100%. This guy is representing Taiwan more than you have any idea of what's going on. Thanks to all the contestants for putting themselves on the line. And yeah, that's it for this video. So as for now, as always, I'll see you next time in my life in Taiwan. Peace.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks.